What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to. It's actually week 3 of Power Rankings, but it's week 4 up there, It's always scuffed when it's a Liga, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are joined by Nightmare and a Valiant, or JP, and yours truly, Injustice.
I'm playing around.
I want to see the new format.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen
look at a
it.
new format. It's on the stream.
I haven't even looked at it.
Thanks to Sporadic's girlfriend. Everyone say thank you in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully, we actually
see.
get like much better formats. It's actually pleasing to look at and not completely scuffed.
Muchas gracias.
All right. But anyways, we're starting a little bit late. We should probably get straight into it. All right. We'll just get straight to it. Number 10. We're starting in the top lane. Hey, I see my boy Nightmare's got Cruck with the Glock, but the rest of us are intelligent and have bricks.
Because he didn't play.
True, but neither did bricks, right? Okay, all right. Let's clear it up. These three. These three did their power rankings based on week 3. Mine are based on overall, like from start till the end of week 3, right? So it's gonna be a little bit different. So if you're looking for week 3, theirs is probably more reliable, in that sense. So we'll move on. Number 9. I have Milky Jugs here, and 2 others have Croc with a Glock. And obviously, this is what you guys are doing. They didn't play, so they're here. Except we see Solo over here has Dopest, which means he's the worst top laner that played this week. Talk about it for a sec. Someone is knocking on my door.
Damn. Honestly, I just put him down here because I didn't draft him this season. I don't. To be honest, I didn't really watch a lot of the top lane matchups. I did notice a few on like the upper ones. Those ones actually were pretty legit, but like I think 9th, 8th, and 7th were kind of interchangeable for me since I didn't really watch top lane matchups. Top lane matchups were weird because it's just a bunch of wet noodle fights in the Liga. They don't really have a lot of carry players, to be honest, but pretty sick.
On Chris's
Visual.
team?
What?
Talking about on Chris's team on Dopest?
I'm saying just in general, like La Liga as a
in general.
whole, like top lane, then nobody really plays carries. Like the most carry they'll get is like Mordekaiser. And like that's it. Which
Yeah,
is
you're
cool.
definitely not watching top. There's a couple carries out there.
That's what I'm saying.
Constantly plays Yasuo.
Oh
I played
really?
Aatrox. I played Set. Played Gnar.
You're all good.
Played a pretty gnarly
See, but he
set, too.
didn't play this week and I fucked up because I made it just based off week 3. So that's my bad.
That's fair. Yeah, it's definitely your bets.
But I mean they do what they need to do, right?
True.
I have no idea what Solo said, but we're gonna be
Okay.
moving on. This
Yeah.
is
Daniel's
where.
still muted, by the way.
Thanks, Korai. I see you.
Oh, that's right. I muted in the Discord, so you guys can't even
Yeah.
hear me.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Moving on. This is where I have my boy Dopest. He was not looking like the best top laner. I mean, granted, he does what he needs to do, but I still think he's. When you get soloed by X-Ray, you're going down in my rankings. You're getting punished. Sorry, Chris. Not my fault, but you're down here because of that. And obviously,
saying.
X-Ray gets a little boost because of it. So based but true. So you have Mr. Push and LP here.
So he didn't even play bad. I think he played okay.
No,
I expect more from him because I think he's better. I know he could do better.
oh
He
shit.
could
Okay.
he could easily be +3 on any given week, but he needs to like put out a little.
Okay. All right. I can respect that. No problem. And so I think we just we have a consensus on Milky Jugs. I think this is just where he is. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's not that he's playing bad. I just think he's like not as influential as like the top laners above him per game. So, you guys have any thoughts?
I couldn't get his match. To be honest, so I ranked him exactly where he's averaged out the last couple weeks. To be honest.
Smart man.
I'm with Injustice there. I mean, not as impactful, I think, as a lot of the other top laners.
All right. That will move on. Number 7. This is where 3 of us have X-ray. I see 3 of us are intelligence. Good job. Sorry, X-ray. You're a little bit better than the rest of the top laners below you. Maybe I'm even throwing you a bone and saying you're better than Chris. But hey, Chris, you guys are both 7-8. It doesn't matter. Same zone, right? So. I will say X-Ray is like playing okay. You know, I really don't think that there's. He's playing okay. I don't really have too much else to say, honestly, because I guess no one watched game 2. No.
I mean, he's performing better. He's gone up in the power rankings quite a bit. I think, right? He was.
Oh yeah, he was
on the
9 on my
bottom.
list
Yeah, no. So he's playing better.
last time I was the show. Your 60 CS lead meant nothing. I told you, I'm throwing X-Ray a bone here, dude. You got solo killed by X-Ray. What's wrong? There's something wrong with you. You're getting solo killed by X-Ray. Sorry, Chris, but you're being punished. But Master L, do you have anything to say about Master L solo?
I'd say mostly the same situation as pushing LP. I think he can go plus, maybe probably only a +2 on him, but I think he also has potential to be able to make a lot of plays within team fights and stuff like that, like most other top laners do. There hasn't been a whole lot of split pushing this season, which I kind of want to see. I feel like that'd be interesting to see if anybody could actually handle it properly.
Yeah, I feel like there's just been like. I feel like there's just been kind of weak side, like top meta, like top plays more like support, and that's why it kind of makes it hard to like objectively power rank everyone, you know. But in that sense, I feel like there's still a sense of where top laners should be ranked based on individual skill. But you know, hey, like I said, hey, if you're playing to the meta and you're playing decently, it's whatever. So, all right, moving on. This is where I have Francis, and this is my average. Okay, I know you guys have him higher because he played decently.
Let me touch our thoughts on X-Ray.
Oh yeah. Let's hear it, bro.
I think it's a common consensus on CSing, but I'm new to the league. It's my first season here. I was really let down on CS. I think his fight selections were really poor. I think he chose to fight during times that his wave was pushed on the tower, making him lose so much CS. And then the fights didn't amount to anything because he didn't even get a kill. He played well. I think Dopus and X-Ray are very similar in skill. But I gave Dopus an edge.
Chris is not gonna like that one. Dopus is not gonna like that one.
The flaming in the chat.
I just saw their game was basically them just throwing punches at each other like the whole time, both ignoring CS, both ignoring. And then it was nice with Sejuani against Aatrox. He got that fucking solo bolo with the ignite because I don't know why Dopus decided to fight that on 25% health, knowing that Sedge had ignite, but that's just.
All right. Do you have anything else to say about X-Ray JP?
No, actually, I do think he's improving.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's getting some good advice from the team, or maybe he's watching some good YouTube videos, or he's improving from what we've seen earlier this season.
All right. Hey, I mean, if Chris watches like more YouTube videos, or both of them, and you know they just X-Ray cleans up on the CSing and trading patterns, so maybe he can be a better top laner. Maybe like approach that for 4-5 spot. Because to be honest, X-Ray, I don't think you're hitting anywhere near that top 3 this season. Sorry, everyone up there is just like pretty fucking good compared to everyone else. So, move on. This is why I have Master L. I think as the weeks go on, I think Master L actually is playing a little bit better each week, but I still think that he can be better. It's not at the level that I expect him to be. That being said, he's still like in the upper tier of top laners, I would say. And then I see 2 of you guys have DV for VP.
And honestly, it's hard to rank him again because, like, you know, the meta is very suited towards bot lane right now, and not like playing tanks in top lane is very suitable. But I feel like for the rank disparity when they played against Barks Berserkers was like kind of wild. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Since these are based off of week 3 and not like a culmination like Daniel is, or at least mine are anyway, it's like I don't know. He could. I just feel like for the rank disparity, he should be showing off a little more.
Yeah, I agree with Soul here. I think that DV did not perform as well as his rank may suggest. Probably the expectations were a lot higher than how he performed. That's why he's here for me.
Interesting take. All right. Let me hear what you got to say about Master L, bro.
Master L, I don't know.
Besides
I
the fact
don't-
that you shat on him, but let's not talk about that.
I've watched a little bit of his other games outside of like the 1v1 that we had. Like, I think that was week 1. After that, I've seen his jacks. I've seen him play a lot. I'm just not impressed, personally. I actually would disagree with some of the sentiment that has been stated earlier about he's with the other tier of top laners. I think he's almost there. I think maybe he's nervous. Maybe I don't know if it's his first season here or something, and he needs to get comfortable. But he was given his Jax main. I just didn't see him like really pop off with it.
Fair point.
In his defense, Jax is not really strong right now.
No, I actually kind of agree with what you said, though. I think it's like top 4, and then it's like Master L, and then it's maybe everyone under that, you know?
Yeah.
I could see him breaking into the top.
Maybe Master L and Volgarat, depending on how Francis plays like in the upcoming weeks, but yeah. With that, I think we'll just move on. Number 4. This is where I have Croc with a Glock, and obviously it's because he didn't play, and this is like where I think he would be. But I put him here actually because I wanted to reward other top laners. Honestly, maybe like my number 3. I'll just say it right now is Push and LP, but I might move Push. It's hard to say because like I feel like Push and LP didn't really play that well this week, and he could have played a lot better. So, but either way, I think like 3 and 4 are interchangeable for me. No, I'm not showing. All right. You have Milky Jugs, so
Yeah, he's
Wow.
super sub.
Real quick, I think Francis was saying show the paper. He gave me a piece of paper that said justice for DV. That's ripped up right now.
The people in the
Yes.
chat saying that they played 2 best of 3s back to back. That's not my fault. So, I mean, they chose to do it. If their schedule doesn't allow it, you know, it's part of the game. I'm analyzing the fucking week 3 games. I get it, but still.
It's okay.
Either way, Milky Jugs, super sub. He honestly, he played a lot better than I expected him to play, and that's why I put him this high. Because I know Casey's supposed to be their top lane, or So Much Dog is supposed to be their top lane starter. And then their jungler was missing, so Casey played jungle, and then they put Milky Jugs on top lane. So I think he played beyond his rank for sure.
No, I think like this week he played well. I just have like there's nowhere else I can put him with like just this week as a sample size. Like no, like seeing his like previous games as well. You know what I mean? Like this is the best I can do for him currently.
Yeah. No.
That being said, I don't think he's in the top 4, and you're fucking nuts. All right.
A 4.
All right. Yeah, I see there's an outlier. You see him to have overrated
God.
dopest here.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
see, I think I'm putting Chris up here at number 4 because he does have quite a bit of potential, and the reason why he's, I think, at a very similar skill level to X-Ray at this point in time is because he's not performing as well as he should be. Right now, he's kind of just playing as the cum dumpster of his team, rather than I think that the tank that should lead the team on. But at some point, I think he is going to be successful. So
Yeah, I
you go.
disagree. Sorry. I think Chris is washed this season.
hot take, hot take. He'll get there. He'll get better.
Okay.
I believe him.
I respect the hot take, bro. There are a lot of hot takes this power rankings. I'm ready.
The secret word has been said.
All right. You know, you got David at number 4, Injustice. I gotta hear your thoughts. I know, like this week was like, you know, for him, but
Yeah. I got the chance to watch two of his games. I watched him against Volgraph and I watched him against Pushing LP. Um, I'm hoping he would agree, but he had a really bad weekend. A really bad weekend.
Oh yeah,
He
I
got
agree.
his Shen pick. He got his Shen pick against Pushing LP first. And I was just confused on some of his selections on ults. He decided his first ult was basically ulting bot lane on a pushed wave. He lost so much CS on that, and Pushing LP took a lot of advantage on with his Mordekaiser. He was probably about a couple levels up and a lot of CS up.
Yeah.
And I think that game actually Pushing LP won. The Mordekaiser was a huge factor, and I don't think Shen was.
Yeah, he
I
threw
would have,
that game. Mordekaiser threw that game. So
yeah, I would have expected Shen. I mean, if it's you're a one TP, OTP, I expect you to kill, but they didn't. I saw him against Volgraph, and I'm gonna be honest, Volgraph kind of stomped him as well. So I know he's a great player. I've seen most of his matches, but this week is just it wasn't it for him.
that's fair. All right. I already talked about pushing LP. I think pushing LP, he had that like Mordekaiser game, but other than that, I think he also had a pretty bad week. I honestly think him and DV4VP in general just didn't play well at all. I think it was like very subpar for their usual play. So hopefully, I'm looking for next week for them to kick it off. But with that being said, I don't think it's any like they can drop out of like the top 3 or top 4. I think this is like the worst it can be for them. All right. So so come on.
Dude,
He's
come on.
going nuts over here.
Hector played fucking
Oh
good
my
this
god.
weekend. Straight up. I think he played really, really, really good. I was very
No,
impressed with
I'm
how he
not saying
played
that
those
he
games.
didn't play good.
Genuinely.
He's trolling. He's trolling.
No, I'm not trolling. I'm being dead serious. I think he played very good this week. A lot higher than his rank suggests, and how good I would think he would have played. Honestly, I expected him to kind of get drafted by Dopus, but we saw how that went.
It's okay. All right. I respect your hot take. If it's Orn, and Orn. I'll wait till he plays something else, and then we'll see.
That's fair.
All right, JP, is this a biased pick? Like, come on. Bro.
No, you know what? I don't think this is a biased pick.
Oh, actually, if this is for this week, right?
This is
Okay. No. This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
All right.
He's been popping off recently, but Francis is kind of like he's a coin flip. I think how well he performs is probably proportional to how much he drinks.
I agree with that.
True. I said that.
Yeah.
After a couple seasons of playing with him, I agree.
Yeah, earlier this season, he wasn't drinking as much, but now he's starting to pop off the vodka and polish it out. So
Is it like a shot each kill or like?
it better be more, honestly. He better be
Okay.
blackout drunk by the time we're done.
Yo, he's popping. All
his,
right.
his Mordecai is cracked.
Just wait till
Guess he was
playoffs
pretty-
comes.
I guess he was pretty sober against me then.
Yeah. Hey, like you said, he's been drinking more and more, dude. Just wait. In playoffs, he's going to the ER. That's where he's going.
Yeah.
Fucking rage, baby.
You got anything else to add on to like Volgarath?
I think he had honestly. I'm with what my peers said. He had a good week. His Mordekaiser was pretty clean. It was strong throughout the game too. I think he started. Well, he had Trundle first game against Orn. I was not happy about that. He played really poorly on that aspect, but his Mordekaiser pretty much stomped him.
Okay,
Uh,
all
but-
right. It was a big change from the last time I saw his Mordekaiser. So, all right. With that, there's only 2 spots left. Let's just save it and just go 2 and 1. All right, guys. I'm gonna stroke. I'm gonna stroke his ego. A little
Let's
bit,
go.
Okay? I'm gonna stroke his ego a little bit. I'll throw him a bone. No. But rather than a bone, I want to reward him for playing well. And I know everyone's gonna say, "My God, he's playing with Soul Pants. Soul Pants." Okay, but still, you know how many top laners in this league would die like an extra like 8 times, or like an average of like 3 times a game, just completely randomly. The thing about Injustice is he doesn't die. Is a good thing. right?
Don't
He
die.
he's not putting himself in like a bad position, and he's like kind of playing like it's kind of weird because some games he's like strong side, but he's not meant to be strong side, you know. And so he just pushes the advantage over like the enemy laners, and they just can't really do anything about it, and it just allows him to walk anywhere he wants. But yeah, that's my reasoning for having D for VP. He didn't have a good week, and Justice had like very consistent good weeks, so he's number one.
Thank you.
All right. I get Mr.
All right.
Bricks.
I put my whole team as number one because
Am I even on your list?
we're gonna win the whole thing. I'm calling it right here.
He didn't
Oh,
even
win
rate
the whole
me.
thing.
He put you at 6.
You're at 6.
I put you at
Oh, I
six.
forgot.
I would have put 6 and
God.
5, but you know. But actually, my actual number one would be Volgrath. Honestly, he pissed Smurf this whole weekend. When they played against the Devs. I get it. They played 2 best of 3s, but honestly, like, I definitely see him being number one performer this weekend for top laners. He single-handedly won saved the series when they did a 2v5 fight in their base. That was
Okay.
like mostly him. It was him and Cello. So that's my reasoning. But like I said, my whole team number one MVPs. Top Warrior Titans gonna take it all. So say what you want.
All right. You got anything to say, JP? I know you got Push and LP and Injustice up here.
Yeah, actually, for both Injustice and Push and LP, I was pretty impressed with how it was probably the most interesting top lane I've seen all season. Just because there was quite a bit of back and forth, but Injustice at the end of the day kind of takes the cake. His set was pretty impressive for me, so kudos to you, Injustice. That was some really good gameplay.
Okay. All right. Let's hear Injustice stroke himself
There
a
we
little bit.
Before I stroke myself, I will stroke pushing LP any day
Okay.
any day of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
week. In reality, I think there's 4 top laners who are top tier, and that would be DV, Croc with a Glock, Timothy, pushing LP, and myself. I think within those 4, any given day, depending on the matchup, anyone can win. Pushing LP is a very strong player. I like his champion pool. I like he's a big brain. He didn't play, and we spoke after our game. He didn't play too well against me, but we had a plan against his Shen. But I love what he did against DV. He fucking demolished him. Most games, he even fucking chatted it and picked his own Shen against him, and that was fucking amazing. So pushing LP is my guy, and I think this week he's my top 2. As for myself, I have not seen a losing lane. I probably won't ever see a losing lane all year. I'll be honest. Yes, I have Soul Pen. You can continue to say that, but I have solo boloed a lot of my fucking top lanes.
Agreed.
Volgraph can mention that. I had Volgraph and kinda Cello come top, and what happened? I didn't die. My KDA is fucking amazing. I'm fucking amazing. My champ was fucking deep, and I'm a boss. I'm gonna be honest.
I like the confidence. All right, with that, we'll wrap
That
it
of
up
La
in top
Liga.
lane. That's our list. And we'll move on to the jungle. Can you skip to the support rankings next? Yeah, you can watch the VOD tomorrow, Garrett. Go to sleep. All right. Anyways, we're going to start off nice and easy. All right. We all have dowsing. And sorry, I have dowsing down here too because, like, I saw the one game and I still remember it very clearly where he could have carried that game and just built the wrong item to like not snowball, and then that's my last memory of him. So sorry, and you guys obviously didn't play in week 3, so I put
haven't
dowsing
played
at the very bottom. And then also, I don't need to explain this, Gunner didn't play either. So let's move on. Good job. All right, coming in at number 9. Sorry. Sorry so much, dog. I got you here. I'll tell you why. It's because I expect a lot more out of you. You can be better. All right. You want to talk about Germ B a little bit, Solo?
I don't remember why I put him down there. I'm gonna be honest. Him particularly, particularly, I feel like there wasn't a main reason. I feel like everybody else is just, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember, straight up. That's my reason.
All right. Good reason. Good reason. All right.
Thank you. No,
Obviously, Gunner.
I actually don't remember why though.
Gunner didn't play this week, so we'll move on. Oh, hello. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. Hold on, I'm trying to think why I have Gunner this slow. Hold on.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why. That's what I was trying to remember.
What?
He's on. They're on bye.
No. I know they're on bye, but mine
why
is
do you?
average.
Okay, you're not. Yeah, you're ranking.
He does like the whole average.
Overall.
Thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hold on. Sorry, Gunner. I don't know why I have you this low.
Explain yourself.
I'm on 2 hours of sleep. Okay. All right. Well, I feel like I did have him low for a reason. All right, never mind. Forget it. We're gonna move on. So you have GYX here, or
Is that how
formerly
we're
known as
pronouncing it?
Onyx. Yeah.
Is it not Gick?
Is
He
it?
don't like Gick.
No, he doesn't like it.
I don't know. They're saying Gick in the streams. I don't remember why. I guess maybe not.
Gick.
GYX, I think it's kind of like the push and LP effect that I put him lower to, because I feel like especially like last season when he was on Zonite's team, he kind of piss smurfed above his rank a lot too. I feel like he's been dropping like some, I don't know like anything in particular because I'm not a jungler obviously, but it seems like his pathing I feel like could be a little bit quicker.
I think he could have
but-
better padding as well.
In general, and it's like making sure that he's capitalizing on like when he's on that side of the map, except because they run into this issue where they'll like be on one side of the map, and then instead of trying to respond with like cross map plays, like if something's happening down there, he wants to do something up here, he'll like try to run down.
Okay.
But
All right, JP, you have Germ B here. Now, do you know the reason why you have him here?
Yeah, to be completely honest here, I do not remember seeing this guy anywhere, and if he's not noticeable, then probably he's the equivalent of trash.
Okay, all right, shit.
Oh.
Jesus, guys. All right, Cap. Moving on. Injustice. This is where you have so much dog.
Didn't get a chance to watch his games.
Oh,
so
okay.
He got put here.
Yeah, don't watch him. He played okay.
I tried to reach. I tried to reach out to get the OO matches, but.
Hey, a message from Germ B to JP. He's gonna be in your lane, so beware.
All I hear is he's gonna give me a free triple kill.
All
let's
right.
go.
Moving on, number 7. This is where I have kinda cello, and once again, this is an average. My God, I still remember like the first like week or two of kinda cello. No, the first week. Oh God. But hey, this week he was good. So I don't really have anything else to say besides like this is like where I have him, average. Yes, I can, because this is where he deserves to be based on like how the 2 games went. Or sorry, the 2 matches, week 1 and week 3. So. All right, moving on. You have Giuseppe Hack. You have him very low, so.
Ooh. Again, I get it. They played 2 series. Fatigue is a bitch. But I feel like they gave him his Echo, which is like, it seems like it's his one trick. I guess I could be wrong, but when you have like damn near 300 games in solo queue on one champion, you can't carry. I get it. We're playing 5v5 comp style, so it's a little different. But I was just not impressed with how he played. I feel like he could have gotten some more flank options available, and I get it. Sometimes, like I said, it's hard. You're playing fucking 5v5 comp.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you have that much mastery on a champion and they let it through draft, you should be able to capitalize on them not banning it.
That's true, but it's like a risk reward potential of like they're ready
for
to
sure.
play into it, right? So.
And then also it's like, if the meta doesn't suit it, etc., stuff like that. But again, I just wasn't impressed, and I wanted more from what I anticipated to be was just like a piss stomp from the jungle.
All right. And then, what do you got to say about Casey there, JP?
I think it's similar to you, Daniel, but not as harsh. I mean, he's not meeting expectations, but he's still, in my eyes, a decent jungler. And I think there's something redeeming about about his playstyle. So that's why he's there. Barely escaped the red.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that, but
Okay.
all right, you got Germ
Okay.
BM.
I think BM is all right. I think he performs really well early game, and then just and I've heard the power rankings about him prior to this. You know, it's just the same sentiment as that he has a pretty good understanding of what to do early. I just think he loses his mind after 15 minutes, and he should be way more impactful with his lead, and he just isn't.
All right, moving on. And for the same reasons, I still have Germ BM in this spot, but he is slightly moving up in my power ranking just because, like, I think he actually is like playing better as the weeks go on. I just don't think he's there yet to be like contestable with like the upper tier or even like he's like coming upon that middle tier jungles because I think there's like 1, 2, and then maybe 1, 2, 3, and then there's everyone else, you know. So do you have any thoughts to add on to Casey so much dog? So
Not really anything else than what was said. I kind of agree mostly with what JP had said or Valiant in regards to like his play and stuff like that. Also, the meta doesn't really suit him. He likes playing Graves. I feel like Graves is kind of bad right now. He likes playing
I
Graves, and
agree.
then he
That's a
also,
good
I don't
point.
know, making like shifts between because he started as a jungler and now he's gonna play top, and then he played jungle this one. So like swapping roles and just shifting your focus and what you need to do and what your objective in the game just kind of makes it a little bit harder than what it normally would have been if he just played top.
Well, the thing is, if
But
you pick Graves, you have to carry the game. You have to
well,
carry the game, right?
exactly, and it's
Yeah,
like if you don't find an angle to be able to carry the game because of XYZ factor, or whatever, it
yep,
just playing Graves on the back foot fucking blows
agreed.
straight up.
All right, you got anything to add to Jix?
Uh, Not a whole lot special. Nothing bad. Nothing great. That's why he's here.
All right,
That's all I
short,
got.
short and easy. All right, that's what I
Yeah.
like to hear. All right, and then we have our second appearance of Kinicello here, or yeah, so
Similar to what everyone's saying, he didn't play good. He didn't play bad. I think he was given a very major lead. His team was up throughout the most of the matches they played, so he didn't really have to do much. His Jarvan was okay. His can't remember who else he played, but his Jarvan was okay. He he got ganks. He made moves early games, but it's just I couldn't tell if it was him doing the moves or it's just him benefiting off the good position his team has.
I mean he is he is more ahead whenever like his team is significantly ahead. But the thing is, like, I've Kinicello also like when his team really needs help and needs like him to alleviate pressure, he's like actually on his camps a lot. So that's like one thing I can point out. All right, moving on. This is where I have Jix. You know, I didn't really know where to put where else to put you. I think this you're exactly the definition of a current middle tier jungler. Straight up. Sorry, Onyx or GYX. I have nothing else to say about you. I think this week you played about as well as you needed to for like your team to win. So, all right, man, you're really gonna do Ranger like that, bro?
Shit.
Dude, it happens every time he plays Trundle. He gets a bunch of kills and then can't transition to lead. It always happens. It's happened when we played the last 2 seasons. I don't know what it is. It's only with Trundle too. All the other champions he plays, it's fine. But when he plays Trundle, he gets a bunch of kills. This even happened in TLE when we played in TLE. That weekend tournament. He got a bunch of kills and then couldn't transition to lead. Because it's hard. It's fucking hard when you get all those kills on Trundle. You're trying to get those on your carries, and the way that the ganks end up playing out, he has to take the kills. Otherwise, it's lost gold. Regardless, though, I feel like I wanted to see like a little bit more invade with the lead that he had, and he was playing more towards playing the lane, which is fine. But again, he got most of the kill credit on all those ganks.
I mean, it just happens.
Yeah.
All right, and then we see Giuseppe Hack here.
Same reasoning for GYX, just average, kind of just mid. That's all I got.
All right. And then,
Yeah.
you have anything to add on the GYX, bro?
Definitely, I definitely do.
Alright,
You guys
cool.
are doing this man dirty. I watched his Viego game. It was fucking sick. He had a really clean Viego game. Game one. I saw him flash W the Trish jump. It was fucking cute. His Wukong, don't ever play it again. Like if I erase your Wukong game, you probably go higher in the standings. I think with Wukong, you felt like you needed to force some fights that you didn't have to. But thank God they put you back on Viego game 3. Like, you have a clear understanding of like what the role asks of you, and I'm cool putting you middle of the pack. But I would say like you didn't perform that off than some of the players above you. So, Onyx or JXY, you killed it this week.
Why is he getting Viego, by the way? I feel like, isn't that like one of his
I was
most
just
played
about to say
champions?
he was piss smurfing on it last season.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's getting that champion. But
All right, moving on. This is where I have Giuseppe Hack, and I think this is like Giuseppe Hack. His echo game was like Casey trying to play Graves, except like it was better, you know. But I still think like overall average, this is where Giuseppe Hack should be. I think people dock him for his like champ pool, but I mean like obviously if Echo's open, he picks it. But obviously he's showed that he can play way more champs. I still think that his like bot side synergy could be a little bit better, especially because the meta is so bot centric. But I think he's played well enough, but I don't think he's at the level of the top 3 just yet. I still think he can pick it up though. So all right, and then here we got two kind of cellos here.
yeah, I think Cannatello played very good in their series. I specifically his J4 game. I feel like he played really well. I always just like think of that 2v5 play that they did to literally save the series, because if they had lost it, they would have lost the series. They wouldn't have made it to game 3, and they wouldn't have won. So I think Cannatello actually played very good this last week, specifically like more than his rank suggests. And that for me is what my power rankings are. You know, it's like what your known ability to play is, and how well you either exceed that, play at that level, or below.
Okay.
And in my
Yeah, I
opinion,
think
the cello played a lot better than what his rank and what his past games has suggested.
And I agree with Soul here. I think I kind of get like a firsthand view of what it's like working with kind of cello, and he does have some in-depth game knowledge. He has map awareness. When he played into that J4 pick, that was just a very comfort pick for him, and so everything was like muscle memory. It feels like, and so I think that's kind of why he performed well. So he does belong up here, I think, especially after his performance.
All right. You got anything to say about Giuseppe Hack, bro? Like,
He played well. Diana was pretty. I mean, I think he got Diana twice. It was a good outing. Like got some nice. I think every time I saw him ult, it was a like 3 or 4 man ult. There was one 4 man ult that he shouldn't have done by himself, separately from his team. That
agreed.
it kind of just threw the fight.
This is the one in
But
River,
he
right?
played. Yeah, that exact
Yeah.
same one. But overall, he played well.
All right. That. Show my number 3. I have Ranger here. Honestly, I don't think Ranger had the best week, but you know, I think Ranger not having the best week actually is a result of smaller things he does. Like, he doesn't play it like patiently enough. Sometimes he just like wants to like make sure he's in there first when he can like wait like 2 or 3 more seconds before making plays. Other than that, I still think this man's a beast, and he can really like still upset a few teams in the upcoming weeks. So except he loses on Trundle. Let's forget about that. All right. And then number 3 we have Eldaho over here.
Yeah, I put Eldaho because I feel like out of most, uh, all the junglers except for Sultan, he's the smartest in the like jungling efficiently in the sense of he gets his camps, he'll gank, and then he'll get his camps, and then he'll gank. He won't ever like try to go out of his way to make a play happen that is unnecessary to happen. If he sees something happen on the other side of the map, he'll react to it and adjust to like what the game state is. Um, that's mostly why. Just because he's efficient in what he does and doesn't take too long to do it. Because I feel like for a jungler, and I'm not a jungler, so I guess it doesn't really matter what I think. But for junglers, like you want to be efficient as possible in making sure that all the plays are situated, as well as making sure that the objectives get handled properly. And I think Eldaho does a really good job of that.
All right. You guys have anything else to like add on to Ranger?
I think he's a pretty good jungler. I think he knows what he's doing. I'd like to see his Nunu. Probably not
Bro,
a good
he's
spot
never
to
getting
use.
that
You're
shit.
never gonna see that champion played by him. I want you to know.
It's because
Nobody's
people.
ever gonna
It's
let
because
that go
people
through.
hate playing against Nunu, man. It's just super annoying to play into is the problem. That's why he's never gonna get it.
Dude could be in red, doing his red, and then top lane has to be worried about pushing past fucking mid lane, the middle lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll never see Nuno. I think Ranger played well. Nothing crazy. He had some good games, and some bad games, but nothing really to move him under the guys below him.
All right. With that, I'm just gonna show 2-1. I don't think there's any question, except for Saul. We'll forget about Saul though.
I already said I'm putting all my teammates first because we're gonna win everything.
I'm just
So-
gonna
No,
assume
no.
Saul's team doesn't exist and Soulpan's #1 on his list. All right, so
Yeah, so take all my rankings and put them down one because I just put my whole team first.
all right, so then we have
Easy dubs.
there's no question. I think Soulpan is like just played the game most consistently and the best out of everyone. I think Aldoho also is playing consistently, but there are some games where that like it becomes impossible for him to like. I think Aldoho has a problem playing from behind is mainly it. And I think it's just tough figuring out what exactly he needs to do for his team, or whether or not he can do anything for his team is the big part. So, other than that, I mean, they're still like in just about every game, but I think Sulpan is just like more consistent when it comes to that, and it seems like Sulpan like really values like mid prio and knows how to manage it well early game. So
I think the Sulpan is like all his individual players are really good on their own, but at the same time, like Sulpan is like an engine. Like he just drives them all like still farther than what they actually are. Because I think, like I said, I think they're very good. Probably like top 4 players, all of them. Maybe top 5 in some spots, but Sulpan like takes them above and beyond. He does a lot for his team. Not to say that he's the only reason why they're doing good, because like I said, they're all good players individually, but I think he's definitely the driving engine of that team, which makes sense. He's the captain, right?
yep.
Yeah, I think especially week 3, he was just everywhere he needed to be, like just on the fucking clock. Sulpan was in each lane. He was doing objectives. Like it was like he was a machine. Yeah, you're right. So
I'm gonna need a minute. I'm gonna need a minute.
He's gonna cry.
I know. I'm gonna talk my boy up, but before I do, I think Eldaho played really well. A lot of what Wujin said, like when he's ahead, he makes an impact. I cannot tell you how beautiful it was to watch his volley. His volley bear was fucking crazy. Or watching him ult on fucking second tier tower bot lane and just fuck Goblin up. That was so beautiful. You played a really good week, but unfortunately you're not Sopan, and Sopan's a fucking beast. Sopan, he's a great mind. He's a fucking 10 head. I'll tell you something. That's fucking made me so horny was when beginning of game one, pushing LP plays Shen, and he already has a plan. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he knows how to play against a Shen as a jungler. Like he knows matchups. He knows every lane. He knows what every lane should be doing. Even and we do know like Nightmare said. Individually, we know what we're doing. We're great solo laners. We're great we're great players. But he reiterates like a little reminder. Hey, do this, and then it's like it's already in our mind, but he reinforces it. It's pretty good. Like the fact we game one we decided we're gonna gank Shen because Shen cannot ult himself. He's useless if you focus him. And even if you once you get we got pushing up he's so low that even if he did ult to somebody, what's a level 7 a level 7 Shen gonna do to our team when everyone is ahead and stuff like that. So Open is an amazing guy. Like you feel his impact throughout the entire game in every lane like I'm sure laners are scared to push up, thinking that he's gonna come there. Like he's fucking nice. He can't smite a Baron, but good God, he's nice.
All right. I think with that we'll wrap it up. Good job, Soulpan, for missing Smite that one game. But it's fine. Don't worry about it. Your teammate will be not so fine in the upcoming ranking. Don't worry. All right. Let's move on.
All the time.
We're in
Throw
the
back
mid
to
ranking.
Daniel. What did you steal Baron with in finals? When
Huh?
we did it in person?
Oh, Rakan Q.
It was Rakan Q. Who was the
Yeah.
jungler?
Oh, it was Arturo.
Oh.
Dude, I always steal shit from Arturo.
yeah. That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, holy shit, that's funny as fuck.
All right. Number 10. Sorry, I got Flash of Night here.
Flash of Last.
Flash of Blast. Flash of Blast. To be honest, while I was looking through the mid laners, and, because he didn't play, I just had no idea. Or, I mean, like, he didn't play well. But he didn't play this week, right? But I still remember them getting completely shat on by women respecters, and, I gotta say, that's still in my memory. And sorry, Flash, but it's 1 out of 2 games. That's where you're going to be for now. I think you have potential though. But like I played with Flash a few times, and he's actually trying to use his brain. So hey, that's all I got to say. All right, let's go straight to like the the elephant in the room. We got Sparks down here.
All right. Now I know this might be upsetting to everybody here, but Wes did tell me that he was not going to watch this stream. That being said, Wes played absolutely terrible this past week. Game 1 and 3 against the Devs was just hot dumpster garbage. And then week 2, everybody said, or not week 2, game 2, everybody was saying that he was doing really well and that he was like trying to carry his team and shit. But the reality is, Sparks peaked Diamond 4 or something. If a Diamond 4 player played that game, they would have won. They would have performed better than him and won. He did not perform his rank. And if it's garbage day, I'm taking Wes on a date because I'm taking the trash out. That's just hot take. So,
Bro, but the poor froggies were sick and injured, bro. Why you gotta do him like that?
yeah, Wes probably got him sick. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but he definitely number 10 for sure this past week. Holy.
Oh man. Oh god. All right.
He was on his main too. Do you know how many hours he puts on Yasuo? Sheesh. To play like that.
All right. Well, what do you guys say about Bucko, Diff? It's Saul's mid laner, so.
You could basically ignore him for that first 3. Again, couldn't watch the game.
Oh yeah, they didn't play.
I think
on a bye week.
He did that for all his bottom 3, right?
Oh yeah,
all
yeah,
3.
okay,
Just
okay.
ignore me all 3.
All right, no
Yeah.
worries. All right, we moving up. Oh, number 9. This is where I have Nihilek. Sorry, Paul. I don't. I think Onyx was the big Onyx and Rob were the biggest reasons why you guys Onyx and your bot lane were the biggest reasons why you won the game. I really don't think Nihilek did anything too impressive in terms of like the games in general. I'm waiting for Nihilek to return where he plays Tristana mid and pops off like 1 or 2 games, dude. I still remember those days, but until then, I think I have to leave you here because you played well enough to where like it didn't matter. Like honestly, you probably could have been a completely different mid laner and you probably would have won that game. So, I see we have Logic down here. So this week,
Yeah, I feel like kind of the same thing that JP said about Sparks but for Logic. Because I know Logic's really, really good. Straight up, I could see Logic 1v9 in some of these games. I think
No,
I don't
I
know
agree.
if it's
You
something
can.
that has to do with like the way they're drafting and to making it like mid-centric where Logic just picks like a hyper carry mid and then the rest of the team supplements that, or if it's like they're just not playing cohesively together. Because realistically, Logic should be second. Like
I'll talk about
I
Logic
think he should
later
play
when
well.
I get to
So
him.
that's kind of my take.
That
But
sounds scary.
JP, do you just hate like everyone on solos too, man? They've been bottom in your list every single time.
Well, they didn't play.
Okay, all right. At least you have a reason for that.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on since that's also didn't play list. I'm putting Bucko Diff here because I still remember his week 1 and week 2 games. So yeah, I got nothing else to say. He didn't play this week. Whatever. I'm moving on. What do you got to say about Paul?
initially, the same thing that you said is he was just kind of there. He just kind of he didn't really do a whole lot. He didn't really like put a whole lot of pressure in the mid lane, so there's like extra pressure on the side lanes to do something. But
I think it was a game
I'm
where X-Ray could have played
okay.
mid and it would have been the same, right?
Yeah, he could
I'm
have
not a
gone.
hater,
gone
Paul. I love you,
he could
Paul.
have he could have like not bought boots and been done the same thing.
Exactly.
I love Paul though. Paul's my goat.
All right. And we have our first appearance. We have Donnie. Donnie. Oh, you couldn't watch that game. That's right. Okay,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm moving on. He popped off though. All right, moving on.
Cool.
Number 7. Sorry, this is average once again. Space Smurf actually moved up. I had in 9 before, guys. Okay, so
Ooh.
and it was because he popped off against it. It's time. What is it? It's time for change now, right? That's his name now.
Yeah.
I kind of like Addy OD better, bro. But
Yeah,
anyways,
IDOD was kind of a sick ass name.
yeah, but it's okay. Space Smurf, I think he popped off this week. He played very well. He deserves some credit, and he's moving up in my power rankings for that. That being said, Saul has it's time for change at 7.
Like how you said, he got stomped this week. Again, my rankings are only for this week's game. That would have been Space Smurf versus It's Time for Change. I think he played good in the other games that they played where he played Akali and it was the series before. He was like pit smurfing on those games, but this one he kind of got stumped by Space Smurf. He played, I think, Kassadin to Tristana. I didn't really see the draft on that one, so I don't know who picked into who, but obviously it's a tough matchup for Kassadin. But then in the third game he played Malphite into Zed and lost kind of hard. So I don't know. For a player that caliber, I expect a lot more, and the way that he lost his Space Smurf was kind of pretty rough.
All right, fair. What do you got to say about Paul, JP?
For Nihilek, I mean, nothing very significant. I didn't think anything was super great about his play. He's average. Mid.
Mid. Damn. You got anything else to add on to that?
I will at least give him one good point because I feel like I have the similar sentiment. He basically invisible all game, but I did like his 5-minute play. 5 minute he pushes in against Anivia, and he roams top and kills X-Ray, I believe. So it was a good play. I just wish he would have done that more often. Like you're Lissandra, you have a crazy amount of CC. In your defense, you're playing against Anivia, who's especially setups Anivia, who's gonna push you constantly, and you don't want to miss too much CS. But your first play was great. You just went invisible afterwards.
All right, fair sentiment. All right, I'm moving on. Number 6. we're at Donnie, and I think Donnie, after the last 2 weeks, he gains his average back to 6, and I think he will continue to go up if he keeps playing like that. Popped off. I got nothing else to say, because to be honest, I didn't exactly watch the games. All I saw were the score lines, because there's no VOD, no nothing. So hey, what you gonna do? But if he's popping off, he's popping off. All right, and we got my hot daddy at number 6 by Saul.
I think the 2 weeks before this, he played really, really good, which kind of, I feel like, highered my expectations for how he should have played. He did play into Sparks, and I personally think Sparks played pretty well. I'm not sure what JP saw in those games, but it was tough. But I still think he played good. And remember, I put my whole team at first, so technically they're all up one. But I think he has potential to be a little bit better, and I think he should have played a little bit better.
JP, you have Donnie pretty low for this week, I would say. No?
Well, yeah, and I would agree there. The only reason why he's here is I think that there are other mid laners that belong in the top 5. Donnie did play really well. I couldn't fit him up any higher, to be honest.
All right. Well, I guess that's a reason. All right, moving on. We have Wes Sparks at number 6. Right.
I think Sparks played really well this week. His Yasuo, which I met for the first time, is fucking sick. Gave Hot Daddy a fucking run for his money. Just listening to Hot Daddy in voice comms, I could tell how good his Yasuo was. So I think he played well. What was his other game? I got a note on it. Hold on. Oh yeah, it was the Yasuo against Aurelia for It's Time for a Change. One bad thing I hit is like he kept forgetting that Shen existed and taking 1v1s with Aurelia, and it ended up being always 2v1s.
Yep.
He had a very strong lead. I think he was like 6-3 or something at 15 minutes, and then he just kept on throwing it, and he needed to know that him and top were win conditions, but he just kept on throwing his lead to the point where the devs could come back.
With that, I'm going to move on to my number 5 pick. This is where I have Sparks, and I honestly agree with everything Injustice said, but the reason why I have him at 5 is because I feel like the pressure is on him to I feel like he feels like he has to make a play to in order to carry the game, because he's trying to fill big holes because Sporadic's gone, right? And then now you have Baratel and Fleas playing bot lane together, both not in places where they have been during the season. So I think there's a lot of pressure on him to perform well, and I think his performance was okay, very coin flippy, like you said. He either popped off or he was so far behind. There's not really too much he can do. He was just trying to. I still remember he was playing Irelia and he tried a 1v1 what was it, Malphite in the bot lane, and just got completely clapped by that armor-clad motherfucker. So, anyways, yeah, that's all I got to say about Wes. I think Wes still has time to pick it up, and I'll move on there. And this is where you have Donnie. So
yeah. I mean, he's pretty much everything that's been said. I think Donnie's like a rock. I think he'll stay in this general area. I don't really see him going up too far up or down too far either, just because he's a pretty consistent player in the sense of he tends to go even. He plays Malzahar, just super controlling lanes where he just kind of hangs out in the mid lane. So that's why I put him here, just kind of in the middle, upper middle technically, because my team didn't play. So
okay, all right, and we have my hot daddy.
Yes, so I put my hot daddy here. I mean, as much as I do give Sparks shit, he just made it. He's a good player. He made a few bad decisions in his series. But the fact that my hot daddy was able to even play against Sparks, I think deserves him kind of an average mid-tier placement. So that's why my hot daddy's number 5.
Okay. And then we have It's Time for Change.
I watched 2 games. It's Time for a Change, and probably why you guys see him so high. He had the game that Nightmare spoke about with Malphite and Cassidy. The Cassidy he popped off, I just think after that he pretty much just disappeared. He had a young game that was just ugly, and the Malphite game. But then when he played, I forgot who he played, but he had he versus Froggy Fighters. His Akali is
Akali.
beautiful.
His
His
Akali's gross
Flea,
as fuck.
like I don't know what Flea did to him. Apologized today, so he never have to do you like that again. But
Yeah,
he
no.
popped off.
Yeah.
He popped
He's
off.
he's an Akali main, isn't he? It's time for change.
I think
Or does
so,
he
yeah,
just
but
play
he
a-
plays a lot of Akali.
Please.
I
I
believe
think
so.
I plays a
That's
lot
Akali,
of
Aurelia.
Silas, I can't remember the other one.
I think Akali, Silas, Aurelia. I don't know. Something
Yeah,
like
his
that.
Aurelia
Akali
itself
and
was pretty
Silas.
fucking sick too.
Mhm.
He did some stuff. He did some stuff this week, and definitely deserved fifth.
All right. Moving on. Number 4. Sorry, I'm done throwing bones. I'm putting my hot daddy down here. Uh, and it's mainly for his game 2 performance. Hey, if my hot daddy 2-0'd him again, he would still be up there, but yeah. Hey, you had to drop sometime, dude. I'm throwing too many bones to you. I gotta share with your team, okay? With your team, okay? I have nothing else to say, but you did pop out. You did pretty well in the Vex game, though. I'll give you that one. All right. And then we have Sparks at number 4.
Yeah. For me personally, I understand that Sparks could have played better considering he's a higher ranked player historically. But all things considered, he got thrown into this team super last second. He didn't have very much time to practice. There wasn't like team cohesion from overtime like they would have had with Sporadic. Also from his wrist injury, considering he played that well still, I think is kind of pretty remarkable to me that Sparks is able to just kind of jump into this team, play the way that he played, and try to fill the hole of Sporadic that was super crucial for this team. That's why I put him this high.
Yeah, no, it's
Alright.
very, very respectable. Sparks coming out here after the colitis and the wrist and all that, playing for his team. So, no, he's a good guy. I love Sparks. We stand Sparks.
Yeah, I love Sparky.
It's time for change. Is that where we're at? My pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time for change. Just played really well. Like Injustice said, Collie's cracked. He's here for me.
All right. Bet.
Space Murph, he played well. I didn't like his Ori pick. I mean, I love Ori as a champion. I love, especially competitively. She does so much for her team. It just we're in a position to utilize it, and it takes so long for her to just to get strong, especially if your team is not doing well either. So other than that, his other games were great. But I would definitely try to pick a different player. I think there's other players mid lane who do the same job Ori can in a better way.
All right. We move on. I have Logic very high, and I'll give you the reason. And let's talk about how much Logic actually has to do in order for his team to win. And I think the pressure is actually too much for him, and it makes him desperate, and he ends up making like these really terrible plays that like it looks like he's straight up inting. So that's all I gotta say about Logic. I'm not saying that like he he's played the best this season, but I think for all he's trying to juggle, like shot calling and like trying to play the game mechanically well, I think it's just too overwhelming for him. But I still have faith he's gonna have some like games where he pops off. He's got 2-0 someone at some point. So, all right, we have Space Murph here.
Yeah. Again, when I was talking about it's time for change, I also brought up Space Murph. Loki kind of dumpstered him on the Tristana. Granted, it's pretty good into the pick, but I think he played very good this series. Finally broke his curse too, by the way. His first ever real La Liga win after a couple of seasons, so that was an ongoing meme. But yeah, he played really good. Even his Zed play, just making sure that the backline was dead in the middle of the fight while everything else was going on, like in the Baron pit and stuff like that. But his Tristana was like a lot of pressure. making sure that it's time for change was under tower pretty much the whole game, the whole lane phase at least.
You have anything to add on to that,
That's really
JP?
good.
Yeah, I mean, we were super stoked when Fabian broke his loss streak, and I wasn't
Yes, sir.
expecting
I
the
forgot to
Tristana
mention
mid.
that.
Yeah, he finally broke his loss
No
streak.
more loss streak.
Um, I was surprised that the Tristana mid worked as well as it did. It was played into Kassadin, if I remember correctly.
Pretty sure.
But yeah, he was cracked. He did really well. Go Fabian.
Stonks up. All right, and my hot daddy, baby.
My boy. I'm similar to Wujin. I think if you race the Swain game, he would definitely go a lot higher this week. He knows it. We all know it. But more importantly, he does. He played poorly with Swain, and it was against Sparks, Yasuo, so I can't really truly blame him. But his Seraphine game one, him and um, Ed found so many fucking combos, and Froggy Fighters couldn't just fucking.
Oh,
counter.
yeah.
And then his Vex was beautiful. He was not obviously we did a Yasuo comp, and he needed to be our AP. He was our only AP, and he did it fucking well. And obviously you guys have seen him throughout the weeks. He performs well every week. Swain, fucking Akshan. He's you guys don't look at his rank when you look at his play. He performs really well, and he deserves to be number 3.
All right. With that, we'll show number 2 and number 1. There we go. So it's time for change at number 2. Once again, I think this is still like an average. I think he really smurfed game 2 on Akali. But dude, when he's getting every single champ that he plays, including his backup ones banned, it's kind of rough. I will say though, I think he is like very mechanically sound. I think he just has some problems with like decision making on whether or not like he should actually be going in. He's a very aggressive player, is what I'll say. But this week was not his week, or like not the best week that he's had. I'm sure he can do a lot better, and I'm sure next week he's actually going to come up with more picks, just because everyone is going to keep banning him out every single week. So, yeah. And as for Jacob, I think Jacob is the most annoying player to play against in mid lane, because it's like you kind of, I don't know, he's like kind of farming for like 30 minutes and like not really in the game, and then like at 30 minutes he's just suddenly in the game and he's a fucking monster. Or he's playing really annoying champions like Xerath.
True.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say.
My
Yeah.
What?
Let's hear it. Jacob.
Setup definitely number 1 undisputed. I don't think anybody's ever gonna dethrone him realistically. Like I said, I know I put Bucko Dip up there, but my boy, my teammate. But setup, I don't think anybody's gonna dethrone him the whole series of this season of La Liga. He just plays control mages way too well, mitigates his losses to the point where he's up CS like an insane amount no matter what. But it doesn't really matter, I think he's undisputed first for sure.
All right, perfect.
For setup and logic, I put him 1 and 2. They're probably just the scariest mid laners to go up against. If I was a mid lane and I was seeing them on the other side of the lane, I'd probably shit my pants. That's pretty much it. I think I've played with setup before a lot more, or I've played with setup before. I haven't played with logic before. It's probably why setup's number 1. He's just a god at mid.
All right. And then Injustice. Last one, finale, bro.
I think Setup played well. I was very. I haven't seen him play a lot of games, but this week I did get a chance to watch him. His Anivia was fucking clean, putting walls to the point where he had a stun on Lissandra under tower. Lissandra tried to E out and he stunned it perfectly and got the kill. Shit was beautiful. His Vex was clean as fuck too. You perform really well. Logic, I put you there due to I didn't get to watch your game this week, but you week to week you averaged number 2, so I put you there out of respect. I did see your Silas a couple weeks back. It was pretty clean. But setup, you killed this week and you deserve to be number 1.
All right. With that, before we go into ADC rankings, Injustice will be stepping out. He's got some stuff to do. We'll be bringing in Korai to try to sub. The cameras might be messed up, but it's fine. We'll make it work. And thanks for coming in, Injustice. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, guys.
It was really fun
Thanks,
having you.
Injustice.
No worries, bro.
Bye.
All right.
Yos.
All right. Okay. So. All
I miss him already.
right. Let's...
Damn.
Oh, look, I'm
Ha!
Injustice now.
Yeah, I'm Yuso. Look.
All right. Hurry up, Korai. You don't have a lot of time. All right. Base stakes.
Hello,
Oh, you're in the
hello.
perfect spot too. Thank God.
Oh, whoa, that's wild.
There you
I
go.
gotta.
Look, it's Injustice.
You don't need to have your cam on it if you don't want.
Quick
Hey,
question.
Injustice. Yeah.
Quick question.
up,
Can I
Korai?
see his picks beforehand, or am I just like doing
nope.
this?
You're
Improv?
just going in. You're just going in.
Alright. Let me pick.
Alright.
You got this. You got this. Easy.
Best of all, it's ADC rankings.
Mhm.
Alright, let's show these ADC rankings. At number 10, I have JP. Yeah, dude, you had one good week. You still suck, bro. Sorry. Sorry, you had one half decent week. Alright.
Hey,
Moving
man.
on. Alright.
I'm fucked.
You're so fucked. Alright.
Explain this.
You put the bottom 3 or because we didn't play?
Yeah.
Or he didn't see the game?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
bottom,
the
bottom
bottom
three didn't
that
play.
would make sense.
Yes.
Alternatively, Nightmare is the worst of the top 4 in my opinion. So just putting him lower, it makes sense.
I have to play Seraphine to get Diamond though, so it's cool.
Alright. Alright, let's see. You're Kuroi. You have Kuroi at the bottom.
She didn't play.
Okay, alright, good reason. Alright. JP, everyone knows why this guy's here. I just want to hear your take on it.
Yeah, so after I saw Kraken Slayer on Ezreal, I actually made a little hole in my wall with the doorknob. It's in the back over here. Yeah, as soon as I saw that happen, I swung my door back and... Hi, Francis. Francis cameo. I guess.
Volgarath. Hello.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here you go. Shot sponsored by Francis.
He disappeared as he was taking the shot.
Who? Oh, we have an ode to Proton Plat player here.
I've got my Mordekaiser's Pad flavor. Very
Oh
small
my
mace,
god.
Holy shit.
Alright, let's
but Anyway,
If
an
it
ode
works,
to
it works.
an ode to Proton Plat builds. Death's grasp is in my eyes, watching the shop with dread. Darkness rises with every item bought. Your plan is not indestructible. Game 2 made me literally want to obliterate myself. You're going to Brazil for your builds.
That was beautiful.
Very beautiful, Francis. Thank you.
I'm gonna
That was
cry, bro.
Thank you. Alright, that was good shit. Alright.
Fun.
Man, I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to top that later.
What the fuck, bro?
Alright, well that's it on Proton Plat player, Prominence player, whatever we're gonna call him. I don't know why I put Prominence player. Whatever. Anyways, we don't need Karai, you don't even need to explain it. It's because he didn't play. Alright, let's move on.
Okay, makes sense.
Alright, this is why I have main G, and for everyone who didn't know, main G was playing at this position this week, and I think he played his level of play for like the 3 games that I saw was probably better than JP's level in the last like 9 games, so that's why you're here. That's why he's here. Sorry, JP. Hey, JP,
Man.
you've been playing too much Valorant, okay? Come back to League.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, you're a Valorant player. If you're a Valorant player, you'd be maybe...
It doesn't have my 100% potential.
Exactly, yeah. He's saving the potential for playoffs, right? Because he knows
Exactly.
minimal effort to playoffs. Yeah, and I see Saul also has main G. Did you watch?
Nah, it was just there.
Alright,
Honestly,
cool.
I feel like it was just pretty lackluster. It was whatever, really.
Alright, no problem. Hey, I mean, he made the swap from like support too. Hey,
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like I said, I didn't expect a whole lot, but at the same time, it's what it is.
Alright, moving on. This is where you guys had Kuroi.
You can go first, JP. By all means.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got
guy.
this, brother.
I
Girl,
do not
girl,
know this
girl.
guy.
Girl.
So, girl. I do not know this girl. So I don't know. Just down here by default, I guess.
Alright. Alright, that's an explanation. Alright, hey,
I'll
Injustice.
try to go into budget Injustice. I'll try to go into a little more detail. She plays a couple of the meta ADCs, but not some that are really impactful. And I guess the fact that she's a Jinx one trick for the most part is kind of not very good in this current meta. Also, the games I watch her, I'm not very impressed. She's not really where she needs to be at the right times. And rather than looking for like a lead for herself, she always tries to play kind of defensively rather than taking risks.
Okay. Decent explanation. I'll take it. With that, move on. Number 8. So we're at Baratel. And honestly, alright, let's stop. Let's just talk about how if you pick MF, you win, okay? Alright. Now that the cat's out of the bag, alright? Baratel, honestly, you're pretty damn good from what I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen you play an 80 carry and kind of popped off during the MF game. But of course, you were also playing MF. But overall, I honestly didn't think you did too bad. But yeah, I don't know what else to say, bro.
I agree. It was mostly like he's been shifted around so many roles. I feel like he did okay. I mean, like you said, the Misfortune game was good, but I don't know. The Vagar was kind of weird.
I
Something
think
about that. I don't. Something about that was just weird. I think that it might have been
the build.
Yeah.
I also just don't think it was a good pick at that spot.
In general, it's just it was kind of wonky, no?
Yeah. No, it was for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, and you guys have main G.
Yeah, I kind of threw main G down here because silver player.
He didn't get to watch the game, so he's just going off of just like statistics, which I respect.
No worries.
I mean,
I'll go into a little more detail. Trust me.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Oh, Injustice was in this game. That's right.
Yeah, of course.
Alright,
Yeah,
okay.
Justice was 80 carrying this game in my stead. I guess main G is not a ADC player, which is
No.
why they're so low. But considering the position they got thrown into, like all of a sudden, because their ADC didn't show up,
Yeah.
they played fairly decent, but it's still
Oh,
not
agreed.
enough to like win the entire series. They kind of just played cringe fix. Like one game was Ziggs APC, but non-ADC player did their best. Definitely not bottom two.
Not
Other
bottom
than
two.
that.
Nope. Alright. Let's move on. I think this is where it'll start getting interesting. I have Red Ranger here, and this is an average. He actually went up, guys. As you know, I normally shit on Red Ranger, but I think this week was not too bad from him, Like, I've definitely seen Red Ranger have worse weeks. I don't think it's, like, enough for me to justify, like, moving him up even further, but I think, like, I think Red Ranger can play so much better, and I think he knows it, like, half the games as well. I really hope he plays better, man. That's all I gotta say. Alright, and we have Strand here.
I put Strand here not because he's playing bad per se. I think he's doing just fine with what Steven usually does. And he's did pretty good, honestly. But in general, I feel like all the other 80 carries were just showing up more than what he did during this week, personally.
That's fair. And you have Saul here, bro.
Yeah, I put Soul here. He did 1 because he didn't play, 2 because I don't think he's a garbage ADC.
Yeah, I was worried.
Yeah. So, mid in the gray for not playing.
I'm sorry to have to do this to you, JP. It's nothing personal, just business, but I'm gonna try and justify this as best as we can.
Hey, Korai, remember who gives you the check account?
Oh fuck.
Uh-oh.
He is
Oh,
the best
no.
player in this.
There you go.
He's really good on supportive carries that kind of are like an insurance policy for the most part. So like Jin and Ash, he played this weekend. I think it was this weekend, and or last weekend, and he actually played it really well, and he played to his win con a lot. But when he on the Ezreal, he actually didn't look like he was being a champion. It felt more of like a very gold inflated caster minion. So when you play your strengths, you're a really good AD carry, but this series wasn't the most impressive, though you did do very good. Congratulations.
One moment where I just ate Cassidon's face, or he ate my face in the mid lane. It was
I
just an
kept
embarrassing
watching
win.
you go point blank with an Ornn in game 3.
Yeah.
Like out of your own volition. It's not like
I
he
won
got
one
on
of
top of
those.
you. You went in there.
I won one of
those. One
One of
Yeah,
those.
it was worth it. So for that one.
All right, that's enough on JP. I'm gonna move on before we continue to shit on him. But anyways, let's keep going.
Please let me use
This
the
is
check
where I have
code.
Karoi. I think Karoi did not. I don't know what to say besides like. I don't know if she'll ever move above this spot, honestly, because I think like her gameplay heavily relies on the matchups that she gets and like who she plays into. And so she can either be an existent AD carry or it's like she's not really there at all and not really doing damage is the thing. Because like I feel like she wasn't really doing much as a backliner in the games this week. So yeah, we all know it's the superstar of the ADC roles. Proton plat player, prominence player, number 6 on Saul's list.
I put him here. I'm not
Why
gonna
not
lie.
lower?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. His E forward, that was like, come on, man. Like you
Which
can't
one?
be doing that. Like
Which
exactly.
one?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Honestly, Noah's a great player. He has potential to be very, very good. I can see him breaking the top 4. But honestly, this last series that I watched was kind of sad from him. I'm not gonna lie. He could have done a lot better. And that's why.
Okay.
JPRs are pretty much like, the same. I'm
Pretty
putting hours in
close.
quotations.
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta say
yeah,
Baratel.
Injustice and I. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Baratel, I mean, I don't think he's a horrible ADC, but I think that he gets quite a boost from the rest of his team in Froggy Fighters, and probably the comms are pretty good with West now being in there. I don't know if he's shot calling. I think he's shot calling. I had to put him above Soul because Soul didn't play, which is kind of why he's here. But
I mean,
he's mid.
Baratil did pretty good considering I've never seen him play ADC. The Caitlyn was
But
Yeah.
his MF.
yeah, his misfortune was really good. Like all things considered, I'm actually really surprised he did that well. And then the last game, the Vigar was actually pretty strong, but it did look a little bit unpracticed in my opinion. So that's why he's not really higher than this, but he did play very, very well.
All right. And with that, we'll move on. Number 5 is where I have Steven Strand, and I think it's just because like he's the definition of like being a consistent like sitting still farming AD carry, and he kind of just like tries to scale into the game. Yeah, I don't really think there's too much else to it other than that. Oh, Soul's gone?
Oh,
I'm here.
he's gone.
That's okay.
he's
I'll
gone.
let you guys add on to Strand first.
Yeah.
I
mean,
mean, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Steven, he knows the game, so he knows his builds. It's just sometimes I think he does make mistakes, but Daniel put it best. I mean, number 5 I think suits him pretty well. He's not bad at the game by any means. He knows his stuff.
Are you sure? PTA MF is like Giga strong, and Steven will build lethality on that shit 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's just Steven. He's
That's
the
just
lethality
Steven.
misfortune.
That's a
Steven
Steven
Classic.
thing,
I
I
mean,
know.
That is Steven.
He's not going to be able to play Misfortune in La Liga for very much longer, as long as she's as OP as she is right now. But
No, don't worry, she's getting nerfed. I can hear Steven giggling right now about what we're talking about.
Steven
Little
is-
giggle.
Yeah,
Steven knows what he's doing, but he's not a shot caller. He's not a carry, but he's never a liability. He's just there. He's
He is
never going to lose
Steven.
you the game, but he's never going to carry the game.
Agreed.
he's fun to play with, though.
He
I
is
mean,
Steven.
I
love playing with
his
Steven.
giggle.
I
his
mean,
laugh,
oh, yeah,
it's like
Steven's
a
giggle.
morale
You get him to
I love
laugh, it's
Steven.
a mental boost.
True. I agree.
All right, with that, what do you got to say about Red Ranger this week?
Honestly, Red Ranger played pretty good this week. I think he did good. I can definitely see him. I can see him and Promptness player look at the top 4. I was genuinely impressed with how he played, and I think Jose or Red Ranger played pretty good this week.
Okay.
Overall.
All right. that, we're gonna move to number 4. My number 4 is Saul. Yeah. I don't necessarily have you here because I don't think you're not playing as well. I just think that I feel like you can play better, but like I feel like I don't know what it is, bro. Like I feel like sometimes like you just think you can make these plays and then you do them and you're like, "Oh wait, I couldn't do that."
Oh, for sure, it's true. I agree. It's all good.
No, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Nothing is worse than Proton Plat player builds, so no worries. Anyways, moving on, you have JP up here this week. My God, you're stroking this man's ego.
I think
Thanks,
JP
so-
had a pretty good week this week. You know, straight up, I think he had a pretty good week. He played. Particularly his Ash game was pretty good. I feel like the game 3. I think he played very good with the Ash. Considering it's a champion that doesn't really deal a whole lot of damage, definitely a lot more utility based, but made sure that he did what he needed to do with his hawk shots, and some of the ultis were pretty critical in some of the fights and initiating them as well.
All right, and JP, you have Red Ranger here.
So yeah, I have Red Ranger here. I don't make the rules, but I did win against this guy, so it deserves him the spot number 4.
And then that implies that your spot is higher than his.
Yes, sir.
All right.
He's just better.
All right. Now, how
I
do
followed
you?
the same rule so did here.
Is this where you would put PP player if you were in Justice?
If I was in Justice, I would put him right here or third.
Okay.
And the main reason I argue it with Saul is because Saul is doing really good, but then he has times where he does really bad. And just like you said, he has times where he's like, oh, I think I can get away with this, and then he doesn't get away with it, and everything collapses. But focusing on PP player, God, like, you have good mechanics. Just don't get cocky, and please build right for once. He's a good player. Like, if Rob took him under his wing for, a couple weeks, maybe a month, I feel like he could easily be a number, I'm gonna say 2 or 1 ADC. But
That's not happening.
no, he needs a bit of work. He needs a bit of work, but he's playing really well.
All right. I'll just show number 3. This is the highest I can put PP player with his disgusting game 2. I don't know what else to say, but the thing is, like, I feel like let's not talk about game 1. He played MF. MF has won every game. But no. But in reality, I think he played pretty well, like games 1 and 3. I just think I don't know. He's like out of position sometimes, and I still think that remains consistent. I'm not even talking about his Ezreal ease forward into like the like everyone. Oh, I forgot to show that clip. I don't have time, but it's okay. But anyways, yeah, I just think he could play better if he just like. Dude, I feel like he can choose to have like nice, clean gameplay, and he just doesn't. Straight up. So
I see that.
but other than that, I think when he does try it, he's been pretty consistent about his game. So yeah, no worries. All right, and then we have Asteria 2 by Nightmare. Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I put Corey here because he's pretty consistent in his play. Hyper aggressive out of the top 3, I would say the most hyper aggressive.
Thank you.
Likes to. I mean, you've always played like that ever since we started playing against each other. I always remember you were the more aggressive of the 2. Now that Rob's here, obviously it's a little different, but definitely Corey's consistent and always keeps up in farm. Make sure that he doesn't overcommit for anything that he doesn't need to do. He's top notch.
And now I'm blushing.
I don't need to ask about JP. I know JP's gonna be like, yeah, I beat Red Ranger. I'm up here.
You see, it's a lot more complex than that.
Okay, all right.
I consider myself and Steven Tran to have very similar skill, I suppose. When we're sparring, I think he has more game knowledge, and I'm have the slight upper hand in mechanical skill. But because I beat Red Ranger has to be between us here, which gives me 3rd place. I didn't want to toot my horn too much, it's the rule, You beat somebody, you have to kind of take their place in the power rankings. I read that in the La Liga rulebook somewhere.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, sure. All right.
Sure.
He did his
bro.
research.
All right, and then Injustice has Red Ranger at number 3.
I mean, if this was my list, I wouldn't put him this high, but I'm gonna try and justify this one.
Yeah.
I
This
mean,
is the
he
fun
played
part.
really well. Don't get me wrong. He played out of his mind. He's usually a weak side kind of player, and that's just kind of the play style he goes with and fits best in his team. You draft him for that sole reason.
Mhm.
But he got his one trick jinx twice, and he performed really well on it. In the last game, he kind of, he didn't carry the game, but he did get severe and he played
Yeah.
weak side pretty well. So he wasn't ever really a liability, but he did, even when he was weak side, he still got leads somehow, which is not really expected, but he played out of his mind. It's quite a weekend.
All right. And with that, I'll just show number 2 and number 1. I couldn't watch your game, Hysteria. I heard you played well, but this is how I had you two last time. It's nothing against Rob. I think Rob played pretty well, but I think Rob, is still sometimes the reason that they lose, and it's mainly due to, like, it's like the sort of thing. It's like if I make a mistake when I'm the team scary, we're in big trouble. But it doesn't help if you're getting spam ganked by Volibear 24/7 either. So, anyways, yeah, I got nothing else to say. I think you guys are both great players. You're lucky I still have you here, Korai. I was thinking about swapping you, but I didn't think it'd be fair.
Wow. Okay. I see how it is.
All right. So, we
I'm
don't
the
need to talk
best.
about. Yeah, you're the best, bro.
I'm the best.
He owns.
100%.
He literally owns the league.
Sponsored by
Yeah,
Soul.
bro. I'm the best. Let's be real. I am the best, but Rob. No, seriously, Rob is. I think he's. I still think it's tight between us three. I think on any given week it can shape up, but I think Rob, in the sense of the way he plays and sees the game, is just completely different from what me and Korai do. In the sense of, I feel like Korai and I focus more on like mechanics, micro, and stuff like that, and Rob thinks of it as like this big picture, super macro based. Like, when do you ever see Misfortune level 5 in top lane for fun? Not for fun, obviously, but he does these plays that, like, I feel like nobody else really thinks of. So that's why I personally put him number 1, only below myself, of course. But
All right.
Yep. Rob and Korai are both two very well-rounded ADCs. I think Rob, if he tends to make a mistake, I feel like the repercussions for that mistake isn't too bad. For Korai, with all due respect, great ADC, but if something blows up, you're mental. The whole game is going down the toilet in a flaming hot shit. But two really great ADCs, they play the game well.
Yeah, I got this really cool statistic when you go to my profile on Professor, and it's two actually different statistics. It's firstly snowballs, so if I'm like 2 kills plus my opponent, I'm gonna carry the game. Well, then I got loses one behind, so if I'm 0-2, I'm losing the game. And that is quite a good representation, to be honest. When I'm ahead, I'll do good. When behind, I won't really do too much.
You said something to Francis earlier when he was jungling, like, he was asking you what are the odds that you don't win the game, and you were telling him, if you don't gank my lane once.
Yep. That's how I am. If I get attention, I will do everything I can to carry the game, but otherwise, no. And regardless, I mean, Rob played out of his fucking mind this week. Like, he completely carried his team each and every single game. Our series was a bit more rough, but Rob is just, I don't know, he's improving from the last time I saw him in week 1, and I'm glad to see. I like the competition. So hopefully I can change Injustice's mind in the upcoming weeks and change this to Rob number 2, me number 1.
Hey, it's good to keep Rob hungry, though. Rob makes Rob play better. All right, anyways, moving on. That's it for ADC rankings. We're now moving on to support, the very last category. All right, at number 10, I have Gatpa. And honestly, it's not really fair given the situation that they were in. I just think this is how. I just couldn't see another spot for him, like, honestly. I got nothing else to justify that, to be honest. So
didn't play.
Ty. Oh yeah, didn't play. That's right. Pizza Dog also didn't play. We can move on. You guys are making this bottom 3 easy. The Pizza Dog, he didn't play, and I remember the last time I ranked him pretty low as well, and that's why he's here. Gatpa also, so I'm guessing your reason is the same. You didn't get to watch him, but like.
I didn't. So
Yeah,
he's
Pizza
down
Dog
there.
didn't play either. We move on.
Unlucky.
Yep. All right, and this is where I have Venom, and actually, I have Venom higher than last time, guys. Not to mention, uh, I think Venom is now performing better than Pizza Dog, straight up. His Thresh was actually a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. It's kind of cracked, but at the same time, like not like cracked in the way of like he's playing Thresh to like maximum potential. Saying that it is like it's definitely a harder champ to play, but like he has some pretty good fucking good hooks and plays. So all right.
Ty didn't even play this week, right?
Nope.
I don't think
No.
Ty played.
I did not
No,
play this
I
week.
didn't. I
But
didn't
you
play
have
this
Fleece
week.
here.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Again, it might just be a factor of not playing with Sporadic and playing with Baratil instead, in the sense of like the lanes that they played. It just, I don't know. It just seemed super shaky, in my opinion, in the bot lane. So, like I said, it's a dual lane. So again, it could be a culmination of both of them. But I personally wasn't super impressed compared to the past performances that she did.
All right. With that, we're moving up. This is where I have Fleece. Honestly, I like Fleece's mid lane more than her support, but I think mainly it's because like she played Lux 2 games in a row. It's tough because like I feel like in game 3 she wasn't like thrown into a good situation in the first place, but I feel like she did miss it significantly more binds than she did compared to game 2. Soraka felt really good to play. Other than that, I think it was pretty solid. I just think it's very hard for her to like show her stuff with like like obviously if MF is up, you guys are all set. But like other than that, it's like Baratel's just like super inexperienced, and all she can do is like try to place as much vision as she can and try to like like make picks. I can still like hear her giggling like whenever she throws a Q from inside a bush. But yeah, anyways, that's all I gotta say about Fleas. I think she'll be higher next week for sure. All right. You have Mr. Shmee here.
Yeah, I put Shmee here just because the lane dominant fucking player that once was Shmee's, I feel like is no longer as much as he was. I definitely think he can play a lot better than what he's playing right now, especially with how he sees the game in the sense of either lane pressure or I feel like Shmee's the player that either he gets lane pressure or he looks elsewhere to get pressure somewhere else with his jungler, and I feel like I haven't gotten that much of him this week.
I mean, if he gets Zyra,
Right.
he does good. If he doesn't get
Right.
Zyra, he's sprinting.
That's part of it too.
Like this week, he got Zyra game 2, and they won game 2, and then he picked, I think it was either Lulu first and then Renata second, game 3. I don't know. He picked Lulu and Renata, and it just went terrible.
Yep.
I think for me, 6 and 7 were very close.
Damn. Ed Sheeran this low.
It could be a bad take here, but what really kind of just stuck with me, it could be a bad take, but what did stick with me, no, Garrett's a really good player. Like, he's a great support. But in the back of my head, I could just not stop thinking about it. So many missed skill shots on Seraphine. But good player. Not top 3.
Sheesh. Whew. God damn. All right, we're moving on. This is where I have Ty is cool. He didn't play this week, so I left him exactly as he was before. I got nothing to say about that. I see Sol has Pat Clark here. Wow, bro.
Well, was one the WSU superstar support player? I don't know. I don't see him playing as well as he did with that team. And again, it might come down to the team cohesion that they had before. He definitely supplements Korai's playstyle very well. And I just didn't see. Like, I was left wanting more from Pat, especially because it's fucking Pat Clark, So.
With all due respect, I think you hit your head, but okay.
Bro, you have Shmi at
Oh yeah,
6.
yeah. I think Shmi's also a good player. Yeah, I mean 6 and 7 were close for me. I can't really say too much here.
Okay, alright. Good explanation.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Alright, and then we have Gourmet Cookies at number 6. I'm actually surprised Gourmet Cookies is this low this week.
Yeah, he I got nothing. What the hell happened? Why is he here?
I don't
I
know.
mean, he did play the best. He also didn't really play to his champ pool for the most part. I feel like Rakana's not a champion I know him as,
I
but
feel like he played better than he did in previous weeks, though, which is the
yeah,
important part.
definitely. Like I don't think he deserves a 6 spot, but I guess he deserves a 6 spot. So the 6 spot.
Yep. Alright, anyways. Moving on. So I have Shmi. To be honest, I just don't think the picks were good in general, so you got like screwed over in the first place. But I also think it was partly his fault. I don't think Shmi is ever gonna break this spot from now. I think that this is where he's perma stuck for sure. Whether or not like who like goes up or goes down, I think he's perma stuck here. So at number 5 we have Venom, which I think for a weekly ranking this is a good spot. This is where I would have Venom.
Yeah,
For a
and
weekly
and
ranking.
like you got to put him up when he's 4th. So I would say he played very well. He played above his weight class for sure.
Yep.
This week I was very impressed with this Thresh play, especially with the way the meta is right now. Playing Thresh is a little tough. So I was very impressed with how he played, and I hope he keeps on playing this way, because I can see him pushing top 4, top 3, even maybe, if he keeps playing the way he was playing. I really think he played very good.
All right. And at number 5 we have 2 sets of fleas here. Let's hear it.
So I put Fleece here. Fleece is, I think, a mid-tier support. I also remember putting Baratel in the mid-tier. I think their synergy is good. They work well together. Nothing too great, nothing too horrible. So they're both. I think they're a mid-tier bot lane.
All right.
I mean,
That's what I
Flea is a good enchanter player, and she's all right on enchanters, but there's some that just don't feel like they click quite well with either her or her team, and Soraka's one of those. And it really, really did show. She kept getting caught left and right. But yeah, also the Lux, I don't think it was that impactful, all things considered. I think if you pick Lux, you pick it to win lane. But I mean, overall, pretty solid pick. 5 seems like a pretty good spot for her.
All right. And we'll move on. Number 4. This is where I have Gourmet Cookies. I think Gourmet Cookies, I expect him to continue playing better, hopefully. I know he's still not like playing as well as he could be. I don't know if that's in turn like it's a team synergy problem, or like, he's just like waiting to play better. But hey, Ethan played decent this week. I don't have to punish him this time, so I think he played pretty well.
I agree. I think his Swain was pretty good. I think he did very good. Alternatively, I still think he can play better and should be playing better, but I do think he played very good this week in compared to the other 2 weeks.
For Venom, I had Venom at number 4. I just remember playing against him, and he seemed pretty aggressive. Still beat his ass. I don't know. Mid tier.
I mean,
Respectfully.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
I mean, he had pretty good performances on the Thresh, and I like to point out he was still performing on the Thresh even after a previous best of 3 series, not even like 10 minutes before they played theirs, their technical week 3 one.
You get stronger the more games of League you play. You play 6 in a row.
Apparently,
That's
I mean, I'd be
6-1.
so burned out after best of 3. I was burned out after best of 3, but he actually went on and proceeded to do really well.
No, kudos to the devs though.
Yeah, they're
playing 2 back-to-back 3 game series.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna move on. No, we're almost at the end of that, guys. Number 3, we have Pat Clark. or that's where I have Pat Clark, and I remember I didn't get to see the game that you guys played this week, so I just remember having Pat Clark here. I got nothing else to say. Solid player. I heard he's on vacation, isn't he?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So he ain't gonna be here for a little bit.
Vacation diff.
All right, and then we see some human beings, but TSM Ed Sheeran at number 3.
Yeah. I put Ed Sheeran at second. I honestly think that he is the reason why him and Proton Plat Player are playing so well together. I particularly, I think he even clipped it earlier today, but when he played Renata into, granted he was playing it to Baratel and Flea, so it was,
I don't discredit him.
but I no, I know, that's why I'm saying. He's still ranked second. I still think he's. I think him and Hollows Eve cut above the rest for me. Garrett definitely carries this lane, I think.
All right.
I have to put my boy Gourmet Cookies up here, number 3. I can't give him number 1, because we're slowly making our way. Barks Berserkers are slowly making their way up the power rankings here.
Okay.
So gotta be on the up and up. Gourmet Cookies has a lot of potential. He knows the game. It's my fucking support. I love that guy. He's into Pokemon cards too.
That brings him up a couple rings or rungs. I mean,
Injustice got anything to add on? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett's a pretty good player overall. He has pretty good game sense, and he's willing to play aggressive or passive if he needs to. And his picks that he played kind of shows that. But he's overall a very good player. He doesn't really have any obvious weaknesses other than mental. But otherwise, pretty good.
All right. With that, we're gonna move to number 2. It's time, or just show 2 and 1. And before everyone says anything, I'm going to explain myself. I solely have TSM Ed Sheeran ranked number 1, not because he played well or like very well this week. I have him solely ranked there because he had to play with that godforsaken Ezreal in game 2. And that's why he's there this week. The only reason. Otherwise, I probably would have switched him again for the week. Yeah, I'm surprised Garrett didn't I'm surprised Garrett didn't smash his computer screen or something.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think that should be taken into consideration that Garrett has been has had a very strong mental this season playing with players. So I think that's commendable in itself. But his play has been
bring a poetry, Francis, if you can make it in time.
Yeah, it's like the polar opposite with Valorant. That guy is a menace in Valorant. Holy.
All right.
It's like the calmest person in League, and then Valorant, he's like a maniac. Love Garrett.
Exactly. Other than that, I just don't think Hollows Eve I think Hollows Eve has played pretty solidly. It's still hard to tell whether or not she's the reason they win games or not. Or whether it's something else within voice comms, because I've honestly never actually watched Rob stream before for his voice comms this season. So yeah. But other than that, I think she plays very solidly and is still doing everything that she does on the week-to-week basis and is super consistent about it. So
it's also Hollows Eve meta right now.
Yes.
It's very suited for her,
Yeah,
and I think it's very good. And I think that's. I don't think that's the only reason why. I think she's very good at enchanters in general, and them being meta, it also definitely helps for sure.
Yeah, I've got Pat Clark and Hallows Eve up here. They're both 2 really good supports. Hallows Eve's Janna is insane. Feels like wherever I go on the map, she hits me with a Q, even if I'm trying to dodge it. But yeah.
all right.
I mean, going off of this week, just quick something to add on. I do think Hallow did play a bit better than Pat. I think Pat number 2 is a really good place to put him.
Okay.
I mean, you can interchange these 2, in my opinion. The top 3 can be interchangeable.
Yeah, Gourmet could be number 1 here, for sure.
All right. Well, with that, that's the end of the week 3 power rankings. Thank you everyone for coming. We'll see you next time. Thank you again to Spragg's girlfriend, and so JP and Injustice and Fake Injustice for coming out to,
Justice and the Injustice Imposter.
exactly, to come out and give their opinions. Whether or not you guys like them or not, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. No worries. All right. Well, it's good to see you
I've gotta
guys,
pee.
and we will see you again the same time, same day next week. Good night.
Bye, guys.